Hey guys, how's it going today? BOJoeKO here, and we are back with our Columbus Blue Jackets GM mode, the final episode of this series. I'm gonna try to push through this because not feeling too well today. My mouth is hurting me a little bit, so I'm gonna try to shrug through this as quickly and as effectively as possible. But like I told you guys last episode, we did our whole entire playoff review in that one video, like you guys asked. So we did that, and like I said, I already pre-recorded the kind of wrap-up video, but like I said before, the audio got corrupted, so I couldn't save that. So I'll do my mini wrap-up in this video. All right, so first off, I believe the most best way to do this would take a look at our contract situation. We're already up here at the beginning of year 8, so I can show you guys what we've done in the off season and the preseason leading up to the year 8 beginning. So my final acts as the general manager of the Columbus Blue Jackets. So for goaltending wise, we have Sergei Bobrovsky, who went back up to an 86, and we also signed Joakim Eriksson in the off season because we did not have enough money due to we had a very restricted salary cap this year. So as you guys can see, we only have $1.9 million left, so we had to make definitely some salary cap cuts in order to make sure we get the players that we wanted. So he was one person that we picked up in the offseason. For him, only 3 stars, but it's only for 1 year, and I doubt he would have gotten better. So that's our goaltender situation going into next year, while we still have Halverson and Exner for our two solid our two solid 1-2 punch in the minors. So Halverson, I think maybe by like 25 or 26, he might be ready to be backup time. But for right now, he's still a good minor league goaltender. So the goaltending situation is still pretty good. Defense, we still have Drew Doughty, Alvar Ekman-Larsson, David Savard, Ryan Murray, Julius Honka, and Bryson Martin. So once again, our same defensive core leading into next year. Then we take a look at the minors. Guys like Dalton Thrower, who's in the 81. You could trade guys like him. Marcel Moreau, who looks like he'll be ready by next year or so. Hetherington, Hag, Jensen, Betts, all the guys like that. Strite as well. All guys like that. That was our Tony Crab. I think he was our draft pick this year that we picked up. So um, defensive prospects are looking very, very good for the years to come, no doubt. So that's what the defense looks like. And then if we go to we'll just do right wingers. Right wingers: Tyler Toffoli, Danny Cristo, Daniel Sprong, Oliver Bjorkstrand, and Christian Nielsen. So Bjorkstrand was somebody who we signed for a 1-year deal. As you guys can see, he did finally get that good jump, about 25 years old. But the thing was, he got his jump. He wanted a minor league, an NHL contract, and he wanted $5 million. So we had to tender a qualifying offer him. Nobody picked him up in free agency because they didn't want to sign him for that big of a contract, and I guess that they didn't have salary cap either. So the thing was, we tendered a qualifying offer. We eventually got him down to a 1-year deal and signed him for a 1-year deal for 1.8, and he's 83 overall, 25 years old with still 4 gold stars. And the guy is like a mini Daniel Sprong with a really good shooting category, and probably will be able to get some serious shit done and for the years to come for Bjorkstrand. So he's looking good. And then Zykov and Godobin are both 80s as they will continue to grow in the minors. Left wings: Dubinsky still at 82. Austin Carroll jumped back up to an 82, which is good for him. Kirby Reichel an 80. Adam Tambolini an 80. Vrana, Kivaranta, and Ellers all in their kind of like mid or low 70s. And then centers, the only center in our system is Barbashev. And then main roster: Johansson, Connor McDavid jumped up to an 88. Sean Monahan, I'll get to him in a minute, and Robbie Fabry. So if you guys do maybe have noticed from our forward lineup, we're missing a guy like Patrick Kane. Reason for that being is because, well, we had to make some salary cap cuts, and because of that, we signed Drew Doughty, and we had to re-sign Ryan Johansson as well this year. That was one of the big guys we had to re-sign, was Ryan Johansson. So we really didn't have that much money to have two $9 million two players making over $9 million on our roster. So Patrick Kane had to be cut, and it's not really all too bad because our first line is going to be Johansson, Toffoli, and McDavid. Actually grew to a 88 overall and probably will be a first liner. Well, is a first liner this year, so he'll be playing the first line. Second, and due to the fact that we did make the trade for Patrick Kane, we had to get a second line center. So we went to our good buddies, the Calgary Flames, and picked up a boring Monahan, Sean Monahan, to play our team. It's good defensive category. He's got good puck moving skills, a good shooting category, and he has been getting like 50-point seasons for the past couple of years, which is good for a second line center, working alongside two snipers with Danny Cristo and Daniel Sprong. So I think Monahan will fit right into that second line. Third line is going to be Dubinsky, Bjorkstrand, and Frobby Fabry, and then the fourth line, Carroll, Reichel, and Tambellini. So we got rid of guys like Dana Terrell, Boone Jenner, guys like those, and we just filled them in with the young rookie guys who were able to play this year, and then Yilson maybe like a depth guy for the forward wise. So that's what the team looked like this year. I'll show you guys the line, the what's his face, the line edge, just so you can see it in a in a lineup session. So there you go. Toffoli, Johansson, McDavid, Cristo, Monahan, Sprong, Dubinsky, Fabry, Bjorkstrand, Carroll, Tambellini, and Reichel. Ekman Larson, Doughty, Murray, Savard, Martin Honka, and then Bobrovsky and Erickson. So there you go. That's all the moves that I made in the offseason for this team. And draft pick wise, like I said, I traded Kane for like Monahan, a first round pick, and a couple more prospects as well. So yeah, I think overall it was a good trade. We got boring Monahan, and still I think our team is still looking pretty good going into next year. So now let's do our final big wrap up, I guess, for this GMO. We'll take a look at our GM tracker here. Our GM reputation was all the way up, top at 100%. I don't think I hit legend GM. Unless I did amateur. Nah, I still didn't hit legend GM, which is unfortunate, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So here's the overall statistics outlook for the Columbus Blue Jackets in this 7-year GM mode. Like I said, we started the first 2 years. We knew we were going to be a rebuilding team after that roster update after losing Gabrick, so we knew we were going to be a rebuilding team. Got rid of some of the old players like Nathan Horton and Nick Schultz and guys like that. Got rid of them. And the following year, I thought we were going to be a cup contending team, but we started to fall off once again at the beginning of the year. It was just a really bad beginning of the year, and we couldn't really bounce back from it. So we were once again another team selling come trade deadline time. But then the following year, we bounced back with a really good season. Got eliminated in the Stanley Cup Finals, I do believe. It says fourth, so we got eliminated in the fourth round. And then the year after that, we won the Cup. And then really just after that, we just started to become a cup contender year after year. I mean, we won the cup that year with a 101-point season. We got a 107-point season, which was really good, but then lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then we got back to the Cup Finals, lost to the Edmonton Oilers, and then obviously last year, our best year since, putting up a 50, 20, and 12 season with 112 points, getting our most goals scored, and then pretty good goals against at 182. So our season statistics actually were pretty good. After the 2 years, we started to become definitely a playoff team after our younger players would get much better. And you know what? It turned out to be a pretty good year, winning 2 cups in 7 years for this Blue Jackets team. It's not bad. Not a bad little spree that they had on. So we'll go back to the players here and look at some of the guys that we've had on this team since day one. Sergei Bobrovsky, the Vezina Trophy winner. I think he won the Vezina a couple times, 3 or 4 times out of the 7 years. Definitely did his job. Still 86 overall. He definitely was one of the main guys on this team. Putting up almost 40 wins per season, playing 60 games. Playoff time, he was a playoff stud, especially last year and the following years. I mean, his goals against average spoke for itself, 1.4, 1.5, really, 1.56. Definitely put up the points. All right, sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, just looking back on, once again, of all the players that we have gotten over the years. I mean, Drew Doughty, that definitely was a major free agency pickup that we got for him. I mean, he definitely helped us win the Cup this year, especially trading for OEL, too. We finally got those top 2 defensemen in Columbus, and they definitely helped us to make some serious playoff pushes. David Savard was also another guy who we kept from day number 1, who was a prospect in the system and grew all the way up to an 86, which was really nice. Same thing with Ryan Murray. I was really hoping Ryan Murray could have turned up into that top 2 defenseman, but unfortunately he just never really progressed into it, but, you know, that's whatever. And then Julius Honka and Bryson Martin are the 2 draft picks that we got from the year 1 and year number 2 drafts. All right, guys, so then if we take a look at the players in the system, I mean, looking forward, looking to the future for defense, I mean, you got a guy like Marcel Moreau, who's only 20 years old, and he's almost an 80 overall, so he'll be a solid prospect in the years to come. Janssen, he'll be probably getting better soon, too. Maybe, like, 1 more year, he'll be good. Same thing with, like, Edward Betts and Cameron Strite, and then Tony Crabb might eventually become a really good player to use as well. So you got guys, three guys that are under the age of 23, I would believe, under the age of 22, I would say. So there's three solid defensemen there, and a two-way, a defensive guy, and another two-way. So two two-ways, and then an offensive guy, and then Tony Crabbe might be eventually getting better too, but he's only 19. So future is definitely looking bright for the Columbus Blue Jackets defense. And then if we go look at forward-wise in the system here, yeah, in the system, like I said, for forwards, not many forwards in the system, but they're actually, yeah, there's not many forwards in our system. We have an abundance of defensive prospects in the system, but for forwards, we only have really six guys who we're really looking at for the future of this Blue Jackets team, and they're all upwards. They're all 24 years old. So I think the Columbus Blue Jackets will definitely have to maybe be on a rebuild. I don't think they'll have to go on a rebuild soon. I think they would have to start maybe trading some of their older players for some more young forward prospects, because it's going to be getting around that time where all these guys are going to be getting up there in age, and maybe next year, and you kind of have to decide what you want to do with them, because look at all these guys. All of them are restricted free agents. So the next GM is going to have to definitely restock the forward prospect pool in a couple years. But then again, he also has a lot of young players still on the NHL team that can definitely make a difference and an impact. So then if we take a look at the main roster guys, once again, Ryan Johansson, definitely one of the favorite players I had to use this year. Kind of regret it once again from the first 2 years of this GM mode, like I said. Who knows what this guy would have turned out to be if we actually played him on the second line for the first 2 years of this GM mode. He actually could have maybe been he could have got to 90 quicker. He could be up near a 92 or 93. Who knows what he could have been. But still, he turned out to be one hell of a player, an assist guy, no doubt. Captain of this team after Jack Johnson got out. He's definitely turned into a young, great player, franchise player for the Columbus Blue Jackets, no doubt. Tyler Toffoli definitely was a good trade that we made for him. People still didn't like the trade for Tyler Toffoli because we could have got so much more back for him. But you know what? He's a good first-line sniper, and same thing with Connor McDavid. Drafted him early on in the second year, moved up into the draft, got him, and he's always one of those players that turns out pretty good. Danny Cristo, he had some good back and forth years last year, especially putting up a 41 goal season, and then 2 years ago putting up a 33 goal season. So you know what, this guy turned out to be actually a really good trade for us, getting him from the New York Rangers for a first round pick. He actually turned out to be a nice second line sniper for us, and you know what, I do see him being a nice second line sniper for us in the years to come. He is 30 years old, but you know what, he'll still be a pretty solid player to use. Daniel Sprong, the future's only looking bright for this guy. An amazing shooting category, an amazing assist guy. He's gotten almost 40 and 50 assists years, back-to-back years, 30 goal seasons. This guy's going to be a young stud for us. Pretty good defensively. He has really good face-offs. His offensive awareness is good. Puck-moving skills are great. Shooting category out of this world. This guy's going to be one hell of a player for us to use, and definitely thank you guys for picking him up. Sean Monahan, we'll definitely have to see what Monahan will bring to the table for this year, most definitely. Brandon Dubinsky, another player which we kept around. I mean, his defensive category is one of the main reasons I kept him around. He's really good defensively, really good physically, just an all-around really just good two-way forward, solid player, mid-80s for everything. Bjorkstrand, the guy who thinks he's the new Danny Heatley, we'll have to see what he brings to the table this year. Robbie Fabry, a really underrated player that I picked up in that trade for, I really forget who I got Robbie Fabry in a trade for. I know I traded him for something. I mean, he put up a 90-point season in the AHL, followed it up with a 33-point season in the NHL the last year. No power play time, and then the playoffs. Whew, the guy just lit it up in the playoffs, getting mostly second line time too, but 16 points in 21 games. He definitely lit it up in the playoffs, and really interested to see what he's going to bring to the third line now that we have a two-way forward sniper playmaker combination on that third line. So really interested to see what he's going to bring this year. And then these two guys, Austin Carroll, not really Kirby Reichel all too much, but Carroll and Tambellini. Okay, so go like I was saying, guys, but these two guys, Austin Carroll and Adam Tambellini, probably my two favorite fourth liners that I've ever used in a GM mode so far. I mean, this guy, they just do their job. They kill penalties. They were a playoff performers 2 years ago. I mean, Adam Tambellini had one hell of a year, I think, as a fourth liner. I mean, the guy puts up 20 points as a fourth liner, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. He's still going to get better. I still think he's considered a fourth liner. He didn't have his great 10-point season like he had the previous year. He did put up 3 goals, though, which is what I like to see. So those two guys are definitely fourth liners of the future. Reichel will definitely have to prove himself this year. And then Christian Nielsen, I completely forgot about this guy. That he's up on the minor league team. I think he's a depth forward, but he'll get put in the minors as well. And you know what? He should be a nice little sniper to use for the coming years as well. So that's what the team looks like, guys. That's how this Columbus Blue Jackets GM will end. If we do look at our trading block for the coming years as well, if we go take a look at our wants and needs, I would say, for players on the block. Yeah, we do have Calgary's first round pick this year, so I did get a first round pick from Calgary for Sean Monahan. So we do have 2 first round picks this year for Calgary's and our own, as well as a second and 2/3. So if it's a good deep draft, that could be a nice drafting year for the Blue Jackets to restock the prospects pool a little bit. So, you know, our draft picks are looking good for next year. But that's how it's going to end, guys. It was a fun 7-year GMO with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I had a lot of fun doing that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And like I said, I'll be putting out the NHL 15 GM mode vote within the coming days as well. Probably during the day the demo comes out, so you guys can get started on voting for the NHL 15 GM mode team. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the series as much as I did, and hope to see you guys as we start a new one in NHL 15. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the series, and I'll see you guys for the next GM mode in NHL 15.